Narendra Modi, who showcased India's global influence at the G7 summit in Canada. In Alberta, as the Prime Minister was warmly welcomed by his Canadian counterpart, where he joined world leaders at high-stakes outreach session, held key sideline meetings, reinforcing India's growing diplomatic clout. And as Canada leg now that has wrapped up, Prime Minister has departed now for Croatia. This is going to be his third stop in his three-nation tour, where crucial bilateral talks await, as the Prime Minister is expected to land in Croatia today afternoon. Now, as Prime Minister Carney of Canada and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, meanwhile, has agreed to designate new high commissioners with a view of returning to regular services to the citizens and businesses in both countries. Canadian readout of the Modi-Carney talks had simply reaffirmed the importance of Canada-India ties that are based now upon mutual respect, the rule of law, and the commitment to principal sovereignty and territorial integrity as well. This now seems to be emerging as a thaw as both nations now move towards improving their relations.
Shri Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada have just a short while ago concluded a very positive and constructive meeting on the sidelines of the G7 summit here in Kananaskis in Canada. The meeting discussed the importance of the India-Canada relationship, which is based on shared values, democracy and the rule of law, people-to-people contact, and many other commonalities. The Prime Ministers agreed to take calibrated steps to restore stability to this very important relationship. And the first of these steps that was agreed on was to restore High Commissioners to each other's capitals at an early date. Other diplomatic steps will follow in due course. The two Prime Ministers also agreed to resume senior and working level mechanisms and discussions in a host of areas related to trade, to people contact and connectivity, all of them intended to bring greater momentum to the relationship. The two leaders also discussed potential collaboration in a host of issues related to clean energy, clean technology, digital infrastructure, artificial intelligence, food security, critical minerals and supply chains. In view of the trade negotiations between the two countries that are currently paused, the two leaders also decided to instruct their officials to take it up at an early date. The two leaders agreed to stay in touch and meet once again at the earliest possible opportunity.
Now, a reset in India-Canada ties may be on the horizon on the sidelines of the G7 as Prime Minister Modi met with his Canadian representative and Prime Minister Mark Carney in a crucial step forward towards mending strained relations. Both sides have agreed on the need to restore stability and to take calibrated steps forward. Talks focused on shared democratic values, respect for rule of law, and deepening the people-to-people connect, as High Commissioners are likely to be designated soon, signaling a thaw in the relations.
Just in terms of Prime Minister Modi's attendance at the G7. Prime Minister Modi has attended every G7 since 2018. That is a reflection of the size of the Indian economy, the dynamism of the Indian economy, Indian technology, the leadership position India plays in a host of venues from G20 and beyond. So, as chair of the G7, hosting the Prime Minister in that context is entirely natural, entirely consistent. I fully expect the Prime Minister of India will be in attendance at the G7 next year, for example, in France. First thing. Secondly, in terms of the bilateral relationship, which is your question, I think the meeting today was important, but I would describe it as foundational, as a necessary first step. An exchange of views, frank, open exchange of views around law enforcement, transnational repression as two examples, an agreement to provide the necessary foundations to begin to rebuild a relationship. based on mutual respect, sovereignty, trust.
Now, as far as when it comes to the mending of relations is concerned, this is a step that has now been welcomed by Delhi Minister Manjinder Singh Sirsa as well, who has hailed the resettling of India-Canada ties.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी जब कनाडा के प्रधानमंत्री कार्नी से मिलते हैं तो एक ऐतिहासिक फैसला होता है कि अब देश के अंदर हाई कमिश्नर बहाल किए जाएंगे, वीजा सर्विसेज बहाल की जाएंगी और इससे भी साथ साथ जिस तरीके से अब भारत के किसी भी प्रभुसत्ता के ऊपर, हमारे सम्मान के ऊपर या हमारे निर्णयों के ऊपर किसी प्रकार का कनाडा कटाक्ष नहीं कर सकता, मैं मानता हूं कि ये पिछले 30 सालों में सबसे बड़ी ऐतिहासिक जीत है। इससे पता चलता है, दो बातें स्पष्ट होती हैं। एक, आज हमारा भारत किस पायदान पे खड़ा है कि आज भारत ये डिसाइड करता है कि दुनिया से किससे नेगोशिएट करना और किससे नहीं नेगोशिएट करना। दूसरा, मेरे भारत के प्रधानमंत्री की ताकत।
So bettering relations between India and Canada is a welcome step as it is being hailed by India's leaders as well. With that, we head into a short break.